It's a beautiful evening in Pittsburgh, and we have Division III men's soccer right here at Carnegie Mellon University as the Tartans play host to the visiting Mt Aloysius Mounties coming up on the Carnegie Mellon Athletics website and the PAC Sports Network. Alongside Kevin Zolmansky, Jack Ridenauer here with you, and Kevin, obviously a very exciting match in front of us with the fact that the out-of-conference schedule starting to wind down for both teams, but these are two very good teams that are going head-to-head tonight. Carnegie Mellon 5-1 overall, Mt Aloysius 3-1-2, but two teams that are also very, very similar in styles of play.
Yeah, they don't give up a lot of goals. I was just doing the calculations before we started here. Start with Mt Aloysius. The Mounties, this is their fourth consecutive road match. They entered a match, as you said, with a 3-1-2 record. Their only loss was the last match at Kenyon College in Gambler, Ohio, 2-1. Before that, they posted two clean sheet victories over St. Vincent on September 9th and at Geneva on the 13th. Those two goals allowed at Kenyon are the second and third goals allowed during this season for the Mounties. So playing in goal for them, I believe it's Luke Presley. He's played all 6 matches for the Mounties. He's allowed 3 goals, a goals against average of a half. He's a 25 saves and an 89.3 save percentage. On the other hand, the Tartans, they're scoring 3.3 goals per game, allowing 0.3, and those stats are a little skewed, Jack, by the first game where they defeated Muskegum 9-0. So that's really kind of advanced the CMU's goals per game. But their last game was a 4-1 win over on the road on Bethany on Saturday the 16th. The leading scorer for the Tartans, Josh Baugh. He led the way with a goal and an assist. Midfielder Dominic Weller scored for the second straight match, while the other scorers were midfielder Chris Lee and defender Nicholas Caracas.
And we are underway here from Carnegie Mellon University. Thanks so much for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. We'll take this moment and briefly run through the starting lineups for both teams. For the visitors, guided by fourth-year head coach Lawrence Hutchinson. Number 1, Luke Priestley in goal, followed by number 2, Martin Donner. Number 4, Manuel Prats. Number 6, Luke Trainer. Number 8, Chase Conway. Number 10, Juan Camacho. Number 11, Gonzalo Terracabras. Number 14, Ryan Peddle. Number 17, Max Kopak. Number 20, Curtis Brewer. And number 23, Daniel Irujo. And then over for Carnegie Mellon, guided by the 11th-year head coach here at Carnegie Mellon in Brandon Bowman. Number 0, Liam Ryan in goal. Number 4, Josh Baugh. 6, William Rabin. 8, Jake Slackman. 14, Diederik Slingeman. 15, Eli Campine. 16, Brendan Flynn. 18, Matthew Cadena. 20, Alejandro Fernandez. 25, Henry Hawthorne. And number 26, Dominic Hoare-Weiler. Two teams that, again, carry fairly strong records with them into this matchup. Mt Aloysius has performed very well on the road, 2-1 on the season. Carnegie Mellon very strong at home as they are 2-1 when playing here at CMU. There's a fight for it with Terracabras in on the action. And then Peddle moves it, trying to avoid this suffocating Carnegie Mellon defense.
Yeah, they seem to be in a 4-3-3. Just to be clear, the Tartans are going left to right in the white kits. The Mounties right to left in the dark blue kits.
And it sets up a throw-in for Carnegie Mellon. Henry Hawthorne to take it. Hawthorne playing in his 5th game this year, getting his 2nd start of the season as well. Fernandez. A lot of pressure being brought by William Rabin, one of the key returners for this Carnegie Mellon team from last year. And there's Josh Baugh, one of the leading scorers for this Carnegie Mellon team.
The leading scorer. 5 goals on the season, 1 assist for 11 total points.
Good defense by Peddle to break the pass up. Fernandez and Rabin chips it over for Slackman. Fernandez.
Good switch, good possession for the Tartans right now.
Hawthorne sends it in. Fernandez surveys. And then a clear by the Mounties. Good job by Luke Trainer to sweep that under the rug. Carnegie Mellon currently on a 3-match winning streak, looking to make it 4 after tonight. They've defeated Westminster recently 1-0, W&J 3-0, and most recently Bethany 4-1.
Yeah,
Cross into the box, but goes wide off the foot of Brendan Flynn.
I was here for their only loss against John Carroll back on the 7th. They still allowed me to come back. That was a 4th-minute goal right down the middle of the box to put John Carroll ahead. CMU just could never find that answer in the final third, but we see since then they've rattled off 3 consecutive victories, and there was some good possession right there for the Tartans.
Here's Fernandez, worked heavily by Terracabras. And then Josh Ball loses it. Camacho crosses for Petal.
A lot of room on this left flank.
Petal, a junior from New Zealand, sends it in. Nice touch, but then cleared away by Flynn. Irujo gets a foot on it. And Camacho also dancing near the box there, but Diederik Slingeman, one of the key defenders for this Carnegie Mellon team, right on the action as we're not quite 5 minutes into this one. No score here at Carnegie Mellon University. Mt Aloysius looking for their 4th overall win of the season. Brewer with the throw-in. Carnegie Mellon wants a handball, and looks that the call will favor them.
Going to bring it back for the restart.
So free kick coming for the Tartans, as it's Diederik Slingeman to take it.
The Mounties appear to be in a 4-2-3-1 formation. It was easier to see during that restart.
Slackman swivels away from trouble. And Cadena squeezes it into a tight window. Flynn tries crossing. Really good defense coming from Martin Donner, the freshman from Sweden. Flynn somehow gets through trouble and then cleared away off the foot of Prats. Really, really good pressure offensively for Carnegie Mellon, but the Mounties stay strong defensively.
Rabin with a nice little outside boot one touch there, trying to get, I believe that was Slackman going through from the right side into the box. Mounties had to step up on the defense and really shut that down, but that would have been a good left-footed opportunity from a couple yards inside the box.
Donner launches it, and it goes into the hands of Carnegie Mellon's keeper, Liam Ryan, making his 6th start of the season. He's allowed just 1 goal when he has been in between pipes.
Yeah, he's been good, played 360 minutes. Aim for goals against at .25, save percentage of 92.9.
Fernandez up ahead to Baugh, and Priestley comes out of the goal box. And on the other end for Mt Aloysius, also a very strong keeper in the senior in Luke Priestley, currently sits atop the leaderboard in the AMCC in save percentage at an .893 clip. Terracabras has it taken from him by Fernandez. Here comes Slackman, met by Donner. Dances. Crosses, Baugh, and it is somehow taken care of by Brewer. Really good defense also by Manuel Prats, both coming together and trying to close off Josh Baugh.
That was a really good win here by Fernandez right before the midfield stripe. Got this transition going for the Tartans.
Baugh to Rabin. Strike and into the palms of Priestley. This is the, or at least arguably the #1 offense collectively in the UAA for Carnegie Mellon. Sit atop the leaderboard in the conference in shots with 102, as well as total goals with 20. Kopic Hit by Fernandez, and now a trio of Tartans surrounding him. Trainer tries forcing the issue. Relentless pressure defensively by Carnegie Mellon. You got to give a lot of credit to Matthew Cadena, the sophomore from Michigan, really putting a lot of pressure along the near touchline.
A little bit of a disagreement amongst the Mounties right there, Jack, on where to move the ball and who was going to do what before that restart. And they're back on the possession just over midfield right now. And there's a little nice move.
Camacho,
good
the
ball.
Middle of the defense. Here's Peddle. Strikes and scooped up by Ryan. Cool, calm, and collected from the sophomore keeper.
It was good weight on that pass, Jack. I thought maybe he was going to try to take it off the rush with the right foot. He let it come across his body to the left, and that gave Priestley a little bit more time to kind of slide over and get ready for that shot.
Flynn up ahead for Slackman, and then Baugh, the leading scorer for the Tartans, up to Rabin.
He's got a runner. Oh, good.
Great defense by Donner to stretch the leg out and break the pass up. Rujo drops it for Brewer. Big boot ahead. Terracabras met by a double team.
Really good service right there. Tough ball to take in the air like that, but he got right on Terracabras.
Almost 10 minutes elapsing in this opening half. No score between these two non-conference opponents. This Mount Aloysius team last year finished 10-7-3 overall, and for Carnegie Mellon, a very strong 2022 campaign at 11-5-1 overall. Brewer with a big throw-in. He gets it right back. Off the arm of Rabin. No whistle as the Mounties look for the handball, won't get it. Rujo. And the race for it, won by Ryan.
Yeah, you mentioned last year, Jack. They finished second, tied with Penn State Barron in the standings, and they won the conference tournament when they defeated the number 1 seed Barons by PKs to advance to the D3 tournament.
This is a very strong program, not only last year, but throughout many of the years that Coach Bowman has been at the helm. 4 different NCAA appearances in the 11 years that he's been the head coach. As Brewer sends that away, another near threat offensively, but the leader in the AMCC in save percentage, and Priestley standing strong. Feeling a lot of pressure, though. As Terracabras sticks with it. A race for the 50-50. Kopic can't keep it in play. Here's Flynn with the throw-in.
Strong throw, pretty long. Good catch there. But not able to do much with it on the second touch was Slackman.
And Slackman almost had himself a breakaway after the whiff by Donner. And then Priestley sends it away. Some early opportunities by both teams. We mentioned the strong offense for Carnegie Mellon, but for the Mounties, also a very strong offense. Currently ranked 3rd in the AMCC in shots with 73. Also 3rd in the conference in goals with 9. So 2 very offensive-minded teams, but also with very strong defenses and great goalkeeping as well. Should be a very evenly played match in this one. As Baugh maneuvers through the middle.
Trying to hit Slackman on the long ball. Not Slackman, that's
Cadena almost got there.
Cadena.
Prats. And Fernandez getting a foot on it. Rujo slips through the cracks, and Campine just sends it back to his keeper.
Ooh, good pressure there by the striker for the Mounties, trying to create that turnover with the left center back that flared out for the keeper to pass it out.
And Terracabras applying lots of pressure. There's Slackman. As the Tartans flood the forefield. Cadena dances.
See that? That was a little hip swivel.
Fernandez finds space, strikes, and it's off the body of Prats. Kicked around, and Carnegie Mellon retains possession.
That was a big block there for the Mounties, because I think that might have caught the upper 90 there in that left corner, Jack.
It was a big strike by Fernandez, who last year had only 1 goal. This year has 2 goals, almost had his 3rd there. Shot, and again saved by Priestley.
Trying to sneak that one short side on the goalkeeper, Priestley, after making a nice move on that far side. That was 25 Hawthorne.
A freshman from Missouri City, Texas, getting the start today for Carnegie Mellon. And possession stays with the Mounties. Looking at some of the wins for the Mounties, they've taken down some other PAC foes that Carnegie Mellon went up against. Again, all non-conference opponents for both teams, but for the Mounties, took down St. Vincent 4-0, beat Geneva 1-0 as well. They also took down Bethany, so they've definitely had their fair share of similar opponents with Carnegie Mellon.
3 victories over PAC schools for a total goals of 7-0, so nobody from the PAC has scored against the Mounties yet.
That was a good reason. Again, Luke Priestley not only tops the leaderboard in the AMCC, but also in the history books for Mt Aloysius. As he currently ranks in the top 5, 4th exactly in all-time in career saves with 151. He also ranks 2nd in career save percentage at .774.
Coach Bowman trying to move that back line higher.
And Ryan just snags it out of the air. A nice strike by Gonzalo Terracabras. But again, there's a reason why Liam Ryan continues to be so strong in between goal. Last year registered over 1,300 minutes and started and played in 17 games.
So that was interesting. Mt Aloysius, Martin Donner, the tall center back, he went right into 6, and he was going to be the target. Coach Bowman recognized that and wanted to move that back line up to pull him out. And that was what the instructions were, and the strategy, don't let Donner get too close to the frame where he can head it in, because he's clearly taller than all the other players.
Donner yet to register a goal in his freshman season, but has fired 3 shots, 2 of them coming on frame.
He's the tall center back with the blonde hair, which you would expect from a player from Sweden. Ryan thought about the throw out there to get the break moving, but pulled it down, and he's going to go to the left side here for the control play, working out from the back line here.
As ball lets that roll out of play. Possession stays with Carnegie Mellon. You know, Liam Ryan, just a sophomore, but plays as if he has been a seasoned vet at the college level in between goal. And really, I think that's a great sign for this Tartans program, not only this year, but moving forward. Again, you'd have Ryan for not just this year, but also next year and the year after. So have a lot of time with the strong keeper. Native of Washington State, that is.
Yeah, he's come a long way across the country.
It's a beautiful part of the country, the Pacific Northwest. A burst of speed coming from Chase Conway. Trainer. Irujo with lots of space towards the box.
Oh.
And almost knocked in by Terracabras, but just a few inches away. And again, Ryan getting a lot of action early on in the goal position.
Terracabras tried to time that run to get onto that long service there. And again, you got the turf jack, you get the hops, the bounces. It's a little different than the natural turf, and just not able to get that touch running towards the frame.
Fernandez squeezes it down the line to Slackman, but an offsides against the Tartans negates the rush. Nearing the 27-minute mark in this first half. No score between Mt Aloysius and Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon trying to push that 3-game winning streak into 4 after tonight. For Mt Aloysius, they're looking for their 4th overall win and also to continue their strong play on the road. Currently 2-1 when not playing at home. Looking to go 3-1 after tonight. Trainer. Back to Brewer. A grad student from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Martin Donner. Kopic. A lot of room.
Yeah, too much room.
And Terracabras gets cut off by Campine. Really good defense coming from the junior.
Did a nice job of finding that little pocket space right past midfield. And then, as you said, he had a lot of room when he turned and made a run.
So Brewer gets set to throw in. This is his 3rd start of the season. Last year started in 17 games, played in 19. He has been really impressive on these throw-ins. See if they, again, try to go to Donner. Into the box and headed away. But in comes Arujo, and he strikes it through to make it 1-0 Mt Aloysius.
Secondary ball. CMU was able to clear it, but it ended up going to the opposite side of the box, far post. And as you said, I was watching Donner, who was complaining that he was being held down, and then all of a sudden just saw that ball come soaring into that upper left corner. So what a good strike there for Mt Aloysius goal scorer, who was
Daniel Arujo, getting his 1st goal of the 2023 season, getting his 2nd goal in his career. The lone goal that he had prior to the one he just scored was last year on October 22nd against Hilbert. So not quite a year ago, but nonetheless, he picks up a goal and puts his Mounties on top 1-0 at the 26-minute mark. Now Carnegie Mellon trying to counteract and in a position that they don't find themselves in often, trailing early. Rabin. Fernandez. And then Flynn drops it back. Lone loss of the year for Carnegie Mellon came against John Carroll. The John Carroll team that at that time was ranked number 23 in the nation. It's the only blemish for the Tartans right now. But the Mounties looking to be the 2nd team to give them a loss. A great fight at midfield with Conway and Fernandez. And Fernandez, the aggressor, sticking with it. And a whistle goes in favor of the Mounties.
Arujo, the sophomore midi from Pamplona, Spain.
Brendan Schoenwetter gets set to check in for Carnegie Mellon.
You remember what Pamplona's famous for, right?
I don't.
The running of the bulls.
Oh, okay. All right. I have definitely heard of that. I did not know where it was, though. Now I know. I've never been to Spain. I've heard it's beautiful.
Priestley from about 5 yards in front of midfield here, looking for Donner. He gets the header on it.
And they really want to go to
There's Slackman getting on a long ball.
Brewer collides with him, and he tries to clear it. Slackman just unrelenting, but pushes pedal down, and the ball goes back down for the Mounties. And Jake Slackman trying to have his case heard, but will not have it heard. 23:52 to go in the opening half. The lone score coming from Daniel Arujo.
Jack, we see Priestley. He's all over taking the free kicks. I mean, he's got quite the leg. Look at that one.
Well, definitely a strategic play, and it's at least been working. As Camacho drops it over for Kopic. Weaving in and out of traffic. Blanketed heavily. And Terracabras earns himself a corner. Really great persistency offensively by the Mounties, and again, they're just continuing to put a little bit pressure on this Carnegie Mellon defense.
Yeah, CMU had good possession early. It's kind of swung to the Mounties, and we're going to get our first corner of this match.
Derek Cabras to take it. Towards the box, headed up, and then kicked away. Brendan Flynn clearing it, but it still stays with the Mounties as Irujo slow to get up. Seemed to have taken a hit on that 50-50 ball.
Donner was again the target in the box. He tried to flick it towards the far corner.
And another corner earned by the Mounties, and this time it's Juan Camacho, the junior from Columbia, that takes it. Already a 1-0 Mounties lead, looking to make it 2 here on the corner. Here it comes, out of the hands of Ryan. And they're saying that the Mounties committed a violation. Donner can't believe it with the universal "I'm innocent" sign.
What? With the arms extended? We're not sure what the call was there. I don't know if it was interference on the keeper, offsides.
You're not quite sure. It was in the hands of Ryan, and then he lost it.
Yeah, he wasn't able to catch it clean, and it fell right to his feet, and he poked it home, and they thought they had a goal.
Here comes Slackman, pressuring Prats. And then right into the chest of Priestley, it deflects around. Slackman still with it. Rabin strikes, and another block by Priestley. And Priestley deflects it out of bounds as Cadena can't believe he couldn't head it in. Nonetheless, a corner for the Tartans. And arguably the best opportunity that Carnegie Mellon has had at finding the back of the net.
Well, the high hop on the long ball caused some problems. Priestley came out. Then it was in the mix for a while. It was blocked, and then Cadena tried to go high, looping over Priestley. He was able to push it wide, and here's the corner.
Here it is from Baugh, and too long as the attempt by Diederik Slingeman off the mark, and a few Carnegie Mellon players check in. Brendan Schoenwetter checks in, as well as Nicholas Karakis, and then Ethan Vertal as well.
I think Coach Bowman would have liked a better attempt on that corner. It just did not force Mt Aloysius to play D at all and defend that corner kick. Here's Priestley going to put the goal kick back into play. He's going with the lower boot this time, Jack.
He's got a big leg. He definitely is benefiting his team greatly because, quite frankly, he's been able to set them up nicely into that near attacking third of the field. And when you have a goalkeeper that can just kind of expedite that process, can help you out big time. And an offsides whistled as Josh Baugh tried sneaking around the back door, but quickly caught as we're inside of 20 minutes to go until intermission. 1-0, Mounties up. Carnegie Mellon trying to even it up and avoid picking up their second loss of the year. Priestley again. Horweiler sends it away. And Karakis looks for a teammate. Horweiler drops it back. And now for Ryan to reset. Liam Ryan getting a lot of action early on in goal. Very strong Mounties offense. Prats with the takeaway, but then coughs it up. Campine up to Fernandez. Brendan Schoenwetter. Reigning UAA Rookie of the Year. Fires it ahead to Fernandez, met by Prats. Gets wedged around. And then a whistle that comes in, and it's against the Mounties. As Henry Hawthorne came crashing out of nowhere. earns the whistle, and now a set piece coming for Josh Baugh. And a chance here for Carnegie Mellon to try and get something past Luke Priestley, who has been a wall in between pipes.
Just outside the 6, CMU setting up for some runners.
Here it comes, and it goes just wide.
I think he tried to put it in that far, tuck it in that post, Jack.
Tanner Paulson and Liam Craw both check in. Coming in for the Mounties. Paulson, a freshman from Watsontown, Pennsylvania. Priestley drops it for Brewer, and here come the troops from the Tartans, bringing up a lot of pressure, but again, somehow it sneaks away. Terracabras tries forcing the issue. Here's a ball for Vertal. Strikes it off the head of Donner, using his height. Fight for it, Fernandez. Boxing out Trainer, but again, getting too aggressive, and the whistle favors the Mounties.
Donner looks a bit shaken up. Oh, okay, we know why.
Seems to be okay as he stays in. Now Pratt's pressured by Caracas.
Oh, nice.
Good through ball, but Horweiler quickly shuts it down.
Close down that space with 2 defenders, force that turnover, and now they get a chance here. Trying to find something in the final third. This is what they struggled against John Carroll when I was here, Jack. Just making that last connection in that final third.
Camacho nearly getting to that ball, but quickly taken care of, and Brewer with a burst of speed down the line. And the whistle again against Carnegie Mellon, and really right now, the Tartans just handing over some opportunities for the Mounties. Sets up a free kick for Tanner Paulson. Paulson playing in his 6th game of the season. Has picked up 2 yellow cards this year, one against Bethany and one against Lycoming.
Left-footed service into the box.
Goes up, and it's headed away. But Irujo keeps it alive, and then the fly ball to Ryan.
Irujo on the secondary ball, just trying to put it back into the mix there, recycle back towards Ryan, and he came off his line well to catch that pop-up, as you called it.
Trainer with great pressure, trying to spin away from Horweiler. And again, Horweiler, the culprit on the foul. Very aggressive match so far as we're at the 15-minute mark in the opening half. 1-0 Mounties lead. Carnegie Mellon trying to avoid losing their 2nd home match of the season. Gonzalo Terracabras to take this. And it nearly is headed in. Ryan out of his goal position. Donner off his noggin, and then Ryan takes it down. Chaos ensuing, and Liam Ryan staying cool through it all.
Terracabras with a good ball into the box as Ryan goes to the turf here. Couple opportunities right there, Jack. Always seems to end up near Donner in the air, trying to put it home with the head.
And you can definitely tell they are trying to force that action. Again, Donner yet to score a goal this year as a freshman. And Ryan limping, which, again, for Carnegie Mellon fans, that has to be a very scary sign, because this is a player in Liam Ryan that, after, again, getting the start today, 6 games played, 6 starts. Last year, 17 games played, 17 starts. Allowed just 20 goals all season long. Had north of a 700 save percentage last season. Also registered over 1,300 minutes in goal as a freshman.
I think he got stepped on. I think he's looking at his right foot.
He's a warrior. He's staying out there, trying to walk it off.
certain that doesn't feel good when that happens.
Especially when you have a player jumping up and then landing
Right,
down.
with even more force than just a normal
And you have
stride
cleats. Yeah.
and the cleats.
Ew, no, thank you. Well, I say this quite often. Goalkeepers, they have a very, I always say that goalkeepers are very brave people because you really put yourself out into kind of no man's land sometimes when you're a goalkeeper, especially if it's a 1v1 or in that situation off maybe a set piece or off a corner. You hear stories all the time about goalkeepers getting an elbow to the face or getting an elbow to the side. So it's a position that, again, you might not be getting all the action that a defender or forward or midfielder might be getting, but still, you could definitely take a beating at times. As Flynn splits the double, finds Vertal. A race to the final third. Fernandez chops it ahead, gets it right back, strikes, and Brewer blocks it. Brendan Schoenwetter still with it as he hits the deck. The possession momentarily stays with Carnegie Mellon. But again, very aggressive in that final third. Camacho tries feeding Conway and then shut down quickly. Fernandez to Ball. Looking for his 6th goal of the season. Brendan Schoenwetter slips it through the cracks, gets it back. Flynn can't handle it. Back down for the Mounties.
A little too hot and high there to handle that one. Tough catch.
Braden Callahan checks in for the Mounties, and for Carnegie Mellon, Zach Schoenwetter, as well as Shane Hauk. And now some confusion about the substitutions. Josh Ball gets a break. Senior from Boynton Beach, Florida. Ball last year had 1 goal. Guess who that goal was against, Kevin?
Carnegie Mellon?
Mount Aloysius.
Mount Aloysius.
So Ball has had a very successful track record against the Mounties. Again, the lone goal he scored a year ago was against this Mount Aloysius team in his junior season. As a sophomore, he registered 4 goals. As a freshman, just 2. So this year, already up to a career high at 5. We're very early on in the season. As Donner flails it away. Big booming kick. Callahan met by Hauk. Hauk boxing him out, and the whistle favors Carnegie Mellon. Hauk to take it.
Now under 12 minutes.
Irujo, a near flub pass, but still somehow able to get it off. And Terracabras dancing with Brendan Schoenwetter. Brewer. And Vertal tries winning it back. Brendan Schoenwetter. Zach Schoenwetter. Hauk.
Good combination.
Back to Zach Schoenwetter. All the way to the goal line. Chips it in the box, and it's cleared away. Irujo getting a foot on it.
It's going to be a goal kick, I think. The ball rolled over the end line there. It was a good combination, give and go. Nice run there by Schoenwetter, but he allowed it to roll over the end line. So Priestley puts it back into play to Donner. No long kick that time, Jack. They're going to try to play out the back.
Horweiler shuts down any opportunity of a rush into the final third. Approaching the final 10 minutes of this opening half. The Mounties getting on the board first off of a goal coming from Daniel Irujo earlier in this half. As Carnegie Mellon looking to try and even it up and erase that donut hole on the scoreboard. Slingerman launches it, and to Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Nobody on the end of that one. Priestley comes all the way over. On the break, good rollout. Good flick right there.
Fernandez on the turn. continues to carry his momentum, and then Priestley as well as Prats both watch it roll out of play. Ryan Imler gets set to check in. Sophomore from New Enterprise, Pennsylvania, as he takes out Max Kopic, a junior from Marlow, England. Priestley sends it away. A line drive, and the Tartans can't keep it in play as Hawthorne heads it out of play. Fernandez with great strength. Zach Schoenwetter into the box. Fernandez off his head. And again, Carnegie Mellon with great pressure, but the whistle once again slows their momentum and gives the ball right back to the Mounties. So anytime Carnegie Mellon has put together some sort of attacking momentum, it's always slowed down by either little aggressive play or just good defense by this Mounties group.
Continue to look for answers in the box and in the final third, do the Tartans.
Brendan Schoenwetter. Vertal. Pauk.
Oh, heavy touch.
Zach Schoenwetter. Zigzags. Brendan Schoenwetter feeling space collapsing. Drop for Hawthorne. Try sneaking it through, but scooped up by Priestley. Donner surveys the scene and has a lot of room to work with, and again, we've seen him do that quite a bit, just trying to send it downfield to a teammate. Again, another whistle against Carnegie Mellon.
Gonna have a foul on Fernandez. Mounties are gonna restart here right in front of us. 7.5 on the clock.
Looks like both teams are asking for the sub, but not being given the cue for the substitution. Priestley finally sends it away. My, oh my, forcing Ryan, his goalkeeping counterpart, to come out and meet the shot. What a big leg by the senior from England.
That was on target. That almost went in. Ryan had to come out and play that one. That was up in the air with the backwards revolution. It was well done. It was well taken free kick.
And good job by Ryan not to take the shot lightly, you know, understanding that Priestley can definitely be a threat with his leg. It's Fernandez getting an elbow to the face. And the whistle goes against Luke Traynor. Lawrence Hutchison for Mount Aloysius sending out some calls. His 4th year at the helm. Also serves as the women's head soccer coach at Mount Aloysius. Set piece for Fernandez. The Tartans looking for some offensive traction as they trail 1-0 as we approach the final 6 minutes of the opening half. Wanda Otero checks in as
Schlingeman. He needs to make a run.
And not towards the goal.
To the restroom.
To the restroom. Seemed to have told his head coach that he just needed to go to the bathroom. Appreciate his honesty.
They wanted him to stay down and let the trainer come out. He says, I'm good. I need to go to the restroom.
Here's Fernandez. Crosses. Headed. Priestley takes care of it. As it looked that Henry Hawthorne got a piece of it. Shamar Bully has also checked in for Mount Aloysius, number 22 in navy blue. Otero tries wedging it through, and he earns a corner. So a good job by the freshman who recently checked in. Sets up an opportunity potentially for his Tartans. Here it comes from Vertal. And too much.
It's the second corner from that far side of the field where they just kind of overkick all the formation and everything they're trying to do in the box to score a goal. Got to do better there. Not sure what they're trying to set up.
Zach Schoenwetter tried to keep it in play. The aforementioned Schoenwetter inbounds it. Sent downfield as Caracas. And then Fernandez collides with Bully. And this could issue a card. It doesn't. Just the clock stopping, but still very hard collision by Bully as well as Fernandez. Right now, Carnegie Mellon winning the shot battle 6-3. 4 of those 6 shots coming on goal, but all 3 of the Mounties shots have all come on frame. Here's Korakis. .428 to play in the opening half. Here it comes, and once again deflected away. The Mounties wall up, but the possession stays with the Tartans. Hauk up ahead to Campine.
Got to get it in the mix in the 6 here.
Brendan Schoenwetter into the box, but headed away. A great job by Luke Traynor to use his strong defensive skills as we're inside of 4 minutes to play. The Mounties desperately looking to stay strong defensively and carry a 1-0 lead with them into the break. Caracas could not quite clear it away. And Terracabras as well as Hawthorne both fighting. And a whistle comes in. Not quite sure if there is a player that needs to be tended to. Not quite sure what the whistle was, but it looks like one of the referees is talking to Luke Traynor.
The referee and not one of the side officials, the main official, stopped play and had a little conversation with Mr. Traynor out there. A bit unusual.
We've had a couple random whistles that have been blown, but nothing too crazy.
Room over here on the right flank.
Campine with a good ball. And Otero with the speed keeps it in play. Does it set up a corner?
Yes,
it does.
Third corner for the Tartans. First one from this near side corner. See if they can do a little better from this one.
Liam Kral unable to knock Otero off of his path. Another corner as Fernandez gets set to take it. More and more opportunities for the Tartans. Just need to put one through.
They're all in front of Priestley right there.
And again, just way too much
strong.
mustard. Fires that out of play, and again, the Mounties can breathe a sigh of relief.
Can't quite figure out what the Tartans are trying to do there. I don't know if they're trying to get a player on the end of it past the far post, or if it's just a poorly taken corner, but all 3 have done the same thing. So it seems to be some sort of strategy there, but it's really not evident.
I'm sure that's something that will be discussed at halftime as we're approaching the final 2 minutes of the opening half. And Fernandez with great persistency. Vertal. And then Donner just shuts it down. Very strong opening half by the Mounties. They have felt a lot of intensity offensively from the Tartans.
Oh, Donner stepped forward and good defensive play by the center back once again.
And Trainer sends it away to slow down Carnegie Mellon. And the referee says it was deflected.
Ask these two right here. He's laughing.
Well, it looks that there was a little bit of a disagreement about
Yeah, he
whose
got
ball
that
that
one
was.
wrong. He got it wrong. It was kicked straight out by the Mounties.
And to Coach Bowman's point, even the Mounties knew that was out of bounds.
By them. But that happens.
We are all human.
I'd rather have it in the ball in the middle of the park than something crucial like, is it a foul? Is it not a foul? Is it in the box? Is it offsides? It prevents a goal, that sort of thing.
Plus, was not necessarily a threatening part of the field.
Yeah, that was the whole point of being in the middle of the park for sure.
Zach Schoenwetter trying to tap it away. Bully drops it for Brewer. Met by Vertal. Feels the pressure. And it's taken away. Fernandez.
What happened?
The whistle against Mt Aloysius. Down to 12 seconds. The Tartans have to hurry. And it looks like, again, another whistle. Time has wound down to 0, though, but it looks that the referee will have to.
He wanted them to replace the spot for the free kick, and there wasn't much time left and time expired.
Well, a very interesting opening half nonetheless. The Mounties lead 1-0 at the break, but again, some very interesting whistles down the last few minutes of that frame. And again, I think that if you're either team, you have to maybe be a little frustrated with that because that kind of slows down any sort of ebb and flow of the game. Again, a 1-0 lead for the Mounties. And Kevin, obviously a lot of things that can definitely be broken down, but I know statistically speaking, pretty interesting stuff on paper.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get past that sponsorship read because now I'm hungry. But here we go.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. I'll be honest, I'm hungry too.
So we're going to start with the goal by Daniel Iruhu at the 20th minute, 1902 officially on the score sheet. In the team stats, in various categories here, shots, Carnegie Mellon leads Mt Aloysius 6-3. Shots on goal, 4-3 in favor of CMU. Saves, 4 for the Mounties, 2 for the Tartans. Corners, Carnegie Mellon had 3. Mt Aloysius had 2. Offsides, twice for CMU. Fouls, 5 for Mt Aloysius, 8 for the Tartans. When I was here against the John Carroll game, that game got pretty physical. There was 15 fouls on both sides. Yellow cards, there was a card given to a player on Mt Aloysius. I'm not sure I saw that. Did you see the card?
I don't think I saw the card. We can definitely check to see who that
And
card
no
was.
reds, no red cards. See if we can find the.
Shamar Bully got whistled for the yellow card at the 40th minute. It was 40-32, or about 5 minutes left in the first half. I think it was that collision near midfield, as it was either him and Ethan Vertal or him or Alejandro Fernandez.
See how you see that now. I didn't click on that tab. It's nice to see that. So as the teams get ready here, just about 3 minutes to go, we've seen some good goalkeeping on both sides. We've seen a lot of play in the middle of the park, and I think CMU needs to improve is that final third once again. The 2 games that I've watched here, that's where they really struggled. All the other games I haven't seen, they've seemed to put some goals in the back of the net. But again today, Mt Aloysius is a very good team, defensively pretty good. And the Tartans are having a little bit of trouble, and no more evident than on set pieces in the corners, Jack. The corner kicks leave a lot to be desired, I think, so far, right? They just sailed them over everybody, and it's not real clear what they're trying to accomplish there. I don't know if they're trying to get to the back post, but it goes all the way to the end of the 6 box and sometimes even to the end of the 18 box. So see what happens, see if there's any adjustments here in the second half.
Yeah, the execution on the corner kicks definitely something that the Carnegie Mellon Tartans would like to try and clean up, especially after they had quite a bit of corners pile up on them as that first half started to wear on, and especially in the last 4 or 5 minutes or so, it's felt that they really started to feel maybe a little bit of the, I don't want to say the necessity to score, but obviously the urgency or the willingness to try and make it at least an even ball game going into the break. But still, I think that we can both agree, Kevin, that obviously for Mt Aloysius, they have kind of, I don't want to say maybe or Carnegie Mellon has maybe a target on the back of their heads, but with Mt Aloysius being such a strong program and Carnegie Mellon also being a strong program, I think that you look at the non-conference aspect of it, and obviously the significance of what a win like this would be for the Mounties in terms of looking at the rest of the season and how that would unfold. But for Mt Aloysius, or for Carnegie Mellon, I think you want to try and obviously go into conference play on a high note. You don't want to go into conference play with suffering a late loss in non-conference play. But again, I think that's something that obviously Carnegie Mellon, you look at this match and it's not the end of the world, but you still want to have as many wins under your belt, and again, especially with conference play just right around the corner. I mean,
Well, these are the things that make a difference if you're going to get in the tournament sometimes too, Jack.
Absolutely, and again, like I was mentioning for Mt Aloysius, I mean, the caliber of a victory that this would be for the Mounties could really maybe catapult them into the, not necessarily national conversation, but get some eyes on them.
Right. While you were summarizing, I was trying to get clarification on the reasoning for the yellow card. I almost picked up a yellow card myself from the official as I was trying, as he's giving me the explanation, tying his shoe, I couldn't hear him. Sporting behavior is what he said the first time, and I didn't hear him, and then he said late tackle. So he said the technical thing is, when they say sporting behavior, it's like the lack of sporting behavior. So since we didn't see it during the run of play, that's the explanation.
Well, good for you getting that explanation. Almost
I almost got booked.
Yeah, you almost jeopardized your color position here this evening. I might have been having to do the second half on my own. But good thing that they showed a little mercy on you, Kevin. That's Kevin Zolmansky. I'm Jack Ridenauer. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Wednesday evening in September, a beautiful Wednesday evening in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Fresh 45 on the clock as Carnegie Mellon looking to move to 6-1 overall. Mt Aloysius looking to move to 4-1-2 overall. Both teams have yet to start conference play. Carnegie Mellon has obviously this match right now and then 2 more non-conference matches before they open up on the road against Brandeis on the 30th of September. And we're back underway, and Carnegie Mellon, again, desperately trying to get a score on the board. Want to avoid that 0 that's up there.
Not for Eli, for Didi.
Starting out with a little possession, getting deep into the Mounties territory. Their cross into the box, easily cleared away by Donner. He seems to be all over the place back there, Jack.
Yeah, there's definitely quite a large amount of space that he can take up with his length. And that can definitely be a disruptive thing, but Carnegie Mellon, again, continuing to be very persistent offensively. They get another throw in, coming from Brendan Flynn. Into the box, Donner again, right at the scene of the crime, and Brewer clears it away.
Oh, good first touch right there.
He's been a problem, Donner that is, for this Carnegie Mellon team. Conway somehow squeezes it through, and then Brewer boots it. Sent right back by Caracas. Race for the 50-50. Otero with Donner somehow keeps it in play, and Priestley scoops it up.
You know, the game against John Carroll, they also had a center back that made a real big impact on the game, and getting to see what that can do to an offense, right? For the second consecutive game when I'm here, the center back for the CMU opponent is really kind of erasing a lot of opportunities for the Tartans. See if they can figure it out here with just over 43 minutes remaining.
Good pressure by Tarek Habris, almost forcing a turnover. Slackman. Otero tries sneaking around. And a nice slide by Prats. Again, obviously off of him, but does a nice job at disrupting the offensive flow. That's something that Mt Aloysius has done a great job of, just disrupting that offensive rhythm for the Tartans.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I keep saying trying to figure out the answers, but that's kind of what it is. They've really nullifying and disrupting the attack for the Tartans as they go back to Ryan here and try to reset, recycle, and come back up the pitch, building out from the back here. There's a lot of blue jerseys on the other half of the park right now.
Ball.
He's been kind of quiet, leading scorer for the Tartans with 5 goals this season.
I'm sure that he was a highlight in the scouting report this week for the Mounties, as Otero and Donner battling. It's a throw-in for the Mounties, and Donner a little slow to get back into play. Pedal to take the throw-in, and again, Donner still hobbled. But
he went down and touched both toes. He's skipping now, seems to be working out something.
Slackman and Hawthorne. Brendan Schoenwetter maneuvers through space.
Oh, hand.
And somehow no whistle. It went off the hand of Conway. But referees don't blow it. And Prats sends it to Brewer, marked heavily by Baugh. And Brewer somehow able to get that off of Baugh. A great job by the grad student from Pennsylvania.
Really well done.
Hawthorne heads it away. Trainer launches it.
Ooh.
Weiler goes down, and he seems to be in some pain, but
that's pretty late.
Quickly springs back up. Poor Weiler this year with 2 goals. He's actually scored in 2 straight games against Bethany and Washington and Jefferson. So a player that has started to heat up, and Brendan Schoenwetter is awarded with the throw-in.
What? Turn ball.
So a free kick instead of the throw-in. Regardless, Carnegie Mellon keeps the possession. Campine up ahead, over the head of Conway. Ball. Horweiler searching for that 3rd goal. Ball weaves through traffic, sticks with it.
Oh, nice.
And a good touch, and Priestley off the goalpost. Gets bailed out by the surroundings. There's a big strike coming from Brendan Flynn, and then Brewer wisely clears it away, but the best opportunity that the Tartans have had at scoring so far this evening.
Good distribution by Baugh right there. Nice 1-2, and then what a shot from a really low angle, obtuse angle there. And he hit the frame, but the far post, and just did not get the ricochet off the inside the post he needed to tie the game at 1.
Henry, turn, get out.
Nice combination play over there, though, Jack.
That might be all that Carnegie Mellon needs to see to know that they can definitely crack through that Mounties defense that has been so stifling through a half and some change.
Well, it was a little different. Instead of trying to play down the middle, it was, on the far right side, and nice little run made. I didn't see who took that shot. Who was it that took that shot? It was hard to tell.
Brendan Flynn.
Flynn made a nice run. Baugh laid it out for him, and he was really deep towards the touchline when he crossed it.
Brendan Schoenwetter chips it, and Priestley watches it. 38-27 to go. Carnegie Mellon in jeopardy of losing their 2nd match of the season, but also snapping their 3-match winning streak they're currently on, trying to make it 4 after tonight. But the Mounties would love to end that right here, especially on Carnegie Mellon's home field. Hawthorne. Brendan Schoenwetter. Hawthorne can't tap it back in play. Conway with the throw-in.
With him.
Terracabras fighting with Caracas, and it favors the Mounties. Lone goal scorer in Daniel Irujo striking back in the first half. Really outside of that, it's been here and there with the offensive attacks with both teams. Really a defensive-minded match so far. Brewer with the throw-in. Towards Donner, as Brendan Schoenwetter getting aggressive in the box. Shot by Conway, and it's deflected away. Caracas got his body on it. Otero tries sneaking away. And the whistle favors Carnegie Mellon. Much to the dismay of Lawrence Hutchinson, the fourth-year head coach of the Mounties, not happy with it. But now after the whistle not favoring Carnegie Mellon at the end of the first half, it starts to favor them here in the beginning of the second. The takeaway, that's coughed right back up, and Caracas just booms it downfield. Flynn with great touch. In the box, met by Donner, and it sets up a goal kick. So again, Donner with great defense, and whether he's getting a foot on it or not, his presence is enough.
Yeah, really causing the attacking Tartans to really think about his presence and how to get around it. I think that time the cross hit him and then hit Flynn on the way out there for the goal kick. So he seems to be struggling a little, but his impact on the game has been immense. The tall freshman from Sweden.
And Caracas just sends it out of play, but now a fairly deep throw-in for Mt Aloysius, and again, this allows them to really establish their offense. Once again, Brewer, who has been very impressive on the throw-ins. Again, looking for Donner. They want that action. Fired and deflected as Camacho strikes it. Good defense by the Carnegie Mellon Tartans to take it away. And then Irujo, the lone goal scorer, somehow takes it back, but then coughs it up. Here come the Tartans on the counter. And Donner gets his foot on it.
Ball was making a run. He was going to try to get it on the end of that one. But once again, it was Donner.
And the whistle continues to favor Carnegie Mellon as Juan Camacho frustrated with the call. Weiler sends it away.
And we still are not clear all the time the reason for the whistles.
Yeah, there's been some random whistles, but that's against what seemed to be Pratt's initially, but it's not. It's against Rabin. It was an offsides
call.
Priestley to send it away with his Mounties in front by 1. Obviously not the ideal amount of cushion that a goalkeeper would like, but especially against a Carnegie Mellon team that's this strong, I think Priestley will take it. But the Tartans still with plenty of time to try and counter. Great defense by Camacho, but again, it stays with Carnegie Mellon. As the junior from Columbia doing all that he can to keep it in the attacking third for his Mounties. Here's Hawthorne. Conway tried chopping it away, but it stays almost running in place, if you will. And Pratt gets whistled for the foul against Slackman. And a card
We're going to get a card for the coach. He thought that was a dive. Our official has stopped play.
And a yellow card has been issued. If I'm not mistaken, Kevin, I think you mentioned to me when you were here last time a card was also given to the coaching staff, but for Carnegie Mellon.
Right. That is absolutely what happened.
A lot of trends when you come here, Kevin. I have to say, a lot of trends. Ball to take this free piece. Ryan Peddle standing in his way, and Carnegie Mellon trying to get something off this free kick. Generate some sort of offensive momentum. To the box and head in, and Priestley right on cue as it was Eli Campine who got his head on it. And again, just another near score.
That was a much better set piece, though, Jack. Good service, got on the end of it, forced the keeper to make a save.
As they would say, maybe a dollar move, but a 2-cent finish.
Okay.
Another free kick for Carnegie Mellon.
There's a drop by the official.
Brendan Schoenwetter, marked heavily by Terracabras, somehow wiggles away.
Uh-oh, turnover.
Great defense. Terracabras on the counter, strikes,
Oh.
but off the back of Caracas. Right place, right time.
Ambitious.
Rabin chips it forward, and Brewer sends it away, but a deep throw in for Carnegie Mellon.
Two touch. Let the ball move.
And Brewer, again, disrupting the offense. And Vertal just waiting for his turn to check in. Finally is whistled in and comes to take Wanda Otero out.
They stopped the quick restart for CMU to get the sub into the game as Otero exits.
Rabin fighting for it, trying to get it in the box. Vertal just checked in. Rabin. Ball. Looking for some room. Into the box. Rabin chips it to Slackman or tries getting in, and then Brewer again. If it's Donner, if it's not Donner, it's Brewer, and if it's not Brewer, it's Donner. Those two have been an incredible tandem defensively for Mt Aloysius. Campine.
Winning teams always have a good center back duo, and we're seeing one here tonight for the Mounties.
Going in for 15.
Terracabras takes a big fall, no whistle. Camacho crosses. There's Conway. The shot swallowed up by Hawthorne. Fights with Conway and somehow keeps it in play. And Carnegie Mellon wins the possession right back. And then Irujo gets a foot on it. Terracabras, bodies fly, and Terracabras slow to get up. And this match continues to be a very physical one. And now it looks that Chase Conway is also down taking a knee, so players for Mt Aloysius taking quite the beating. Terracabras,
He's holding his lower left back.
trying to work it out, trying to walk whatever it is that's bothering him off. And it looks like he is being told to leave field of play.
Well, if they call on the trainers, then you have to go off and wait for the officials to wave you back.
Ref, can we get him? Chase, stay down. Chase, stay down. Ref. Can we get him checked too? No, you're off. Can we? Yeah. 9, yeah.
Clock stops at 30:39 in the second half. As now the Mounties trying to figure out the substitutions. Conway checks out, and in comes Tanner Paulson, as well as Braden Callahan.
Conway has a heavy wrap on his right thigh, and I think he said someone went under him and it sort of aggravated it, so he needed the sub out. As Fernandez is walking towards the check-in table here for the Tartans as we await the restart here. The officials holding up play.
Here it comes from Camacho, and it gets off the head of
Corner.
Flynn.
Deflected off the back of the defender of CMU, so we're going to get a corner on the near side here for the Mounties.
Flynn and Slackman both coming up big defensively.
This is going to be Camacho taking it for the Mounties.
To the box, and little too far. A race for it, and cleared away. Good job by Jake Slackman to negate any sort of offense. And the pass from Rabin to Ball, unsuccessful. The Mounties again come right back. Brewer. Pedal, backs up, and runs out of room. Fernandez checks in. Mentioned this Carnegie Mellon team last year finished 11-5-1 overall. They marched right through the month of September as they were 8-0-1 in that month, but went 3-3 in that month of October. And again, that's when UAA play began. And again, we know how strong of a conference the UAA is, but talk about the first loss of Carnegie Mellon not coming until October 1st last year. So they did not taste defeat for quite some time.
The national champion came from the UAA, University of Chicago. Won 2-0 over Williams in the national championship game last year.
It's just the type of teams that this Carnegie Mellon team has to go up against. Juggernaut of a schedule that they face, and they've definitely played some very good non-conference teams to get themselves ready for it. And one of those really good non-conference teams is their opponent this evening in the Mounties. Obviously, you also have the John Carroll team that was number 23 in the nation at the time when these two teams faced off. A throw in Hawthorne to take. And Slingerman has re-entered into the match after exiting out of the match in the latter part of the first half. Tall's pass broken up, but finds the feet of Brennan Schoenwetter. Rabin. Ball. And Brewer takes the hit, but it sets up a corner for Carnegie Mellon. Another opportunity for the Tartans to try and strike as they trail by one. Inside of 28 minutes to play in the second half. Carnegie Mellon in jeopardy of having their 3-match losing or winning streak snapped. Here it comes. Into traffic, and it goes in. Somehow, some way, it goes through. And it looks that Diederik Slingerman, or was it Alejandro Fernandez?
They're congratulating Fernandez. I was trying to get my binoculars on that mix in front of the net, and I just didn't get a good look at what happened.
So not quite sure who exactly the goal is going to be credited to. It looked like it was either Slingerman or...
They asked the coach. They're slapping hands with Fernandez.
So maybe it was Fernandez.
I don't know.
Slingerman and Fernandez were both right at the action. Nonetheless, tied up at 1.
Even Camacho slapped hands with Fernandez out there right before the restart there. The bench for the Tartans doesn't know either. The coach said, we don't know who scored.
Well, there was a lot of traffic in front for Priestley to have to handle, and unfortunately could not direct that traffic.
Nevertheless, the equalizer.
Absolutely, all tied at 1 in a very different feel in this ball game. 27 minutes to go in the second half. Mounties led for majority of this match, but Carnegie Mellon has put their name back in the hat and now find an equalizer to make it 1-1.
So for now, on the site, they're giving it to Diederik Schlingerman. Assist to Josh Ball, 63rd minute. So that's what we'll go with for now.
So Slingerman gets his first goal of the season. Give him credit for putting his Mounties on the board. Slingerman last year had 1 goal. Also had a goal in the year previous to that in 2021. So he's on a little streak, 3 straight years of having at least 1 goal.
Do our best to try to confirm that as soon as we can, but that's what we're going with right now. So my read on the celebration was a bit off. I thought it was Fernandez. Nevertheless, we're going to get a throw on the far side for the Mounties. Tied at 1 now. Under 26 minutes.
Here's Brewer. And a big throw in again, looking for Donner. And Ryan takes it away. A great throw, too, by Ryan.
He's got an overlap, and Fernandez up the left flank. He's going to tuck it in and go far side.
Fabulous
what a
ball,
nice
and
ball.
Vertal with a beautiful touch. Met by Petal. Vertal, and it's poked free by Petal. Fantastic footwork coming from the junior from New Zealand. Now the Mounties on the counter, trying to regain the lead, but Irujo has it taken away by Slingaman. Camacho glides for the ball, and a nice slide coming from Tanner Paulson. Carnegie Mellon keeps it, and Brennan Schoenwetter drops it. Vertal gets shoved down by Petal, no whistle. Flynn almost came up with it, but broken up by Luke Traynor.
4-6.
.24 to go in the second half.
Here's Priestley again on that long free kick.
Big strike from the goalkeeper. Campine getting his head in the game. And a race for it, won by Ryan.
Ryan did well to get there, and he also did well to slam on the brakes and knock it over the line in the box there on that run.
Hawthorne hugs it down the touch line, and Fernandez gets the step, dazzles, keeps dazzling, finds Rabin, and right into the arms of Priestley. What a run by the Carnegie Mellon Tartans, but they can't find the back of the net, and the Mounties come right back on the other end. Polson looking for some room around Hawthorne, and Hawthorne cuts him off. What a 1v1 battle. And the whistle favors the Tartans. Just really good textbook defense by Hawthorne, not getting himself whistled for the foul, and Carnegie Mellon maybe feeling some of the momentum swaying back towards them after getting the equalizer.
I think you're right there, Jack. What a tremendous display of skill by Fernandez down on our left side. He got on the end of that long pass, and then he was able to dance around the defender and put a centering pass, as you said, but Priestley was there to make another save.
Horweiler, as Flynn drops it back for Ryan. Looking for another crack in this defense are the Tartans, and the Mounties also looking for some sort of gap to try and take advantage of. Irujo, and then Brewer finds it.
Can weigh it all.
Brewer cut off, sticking with it, but Slingaman with textbook defense again. Ball met by Trouble.
Whoa, that was in.
And that ball was in as it was touched by Gonzalo Terracabras, who's out of play and now is checking in. So Terracabras, who had not yet been whistled to come in, still getting a foot on that, but
He thought it was over the line, and he stuck out his left foot, but that was not whistled out. That was another unusual whistle tonight. We've had quite a few, Jack.
we have no doubt had some very peculiar whistles. We've tried the best to translate them for you at home. The throw in as Hauk takes it. Otero
Get forward one.
for Tall. Pass broken up. Slingerman.
Good switch there by CMU.
Great passing here. Connecting with one another. Vertal. Dangerous in the forefield is Vertal. Ball. Looking for space. Squeezes through. Shot off the goalpost. Ball can't believe it as he was millimeters away from getting his 6th goal of the year.
What a nice move to cut to the right foot. Jack, I think he hit that post the same place the cross hit the post, like almost identical. If you had some paint on the ball to mark it, they would be really close on where they hit.
Vertal in the box, squeezing through. Ball gets a foot on it. Keeps it in play. And Brewer sends it back, but Carnegie Mellon trying to keep the possession. Hauk. As Paulson gets very aggressive, but the throw in for the Tartans. Inside of 20 minutes to go in the second half. All tied at 1. One of these teams trying to break open that 1-1 tie. Otero.
CMU's been improved in the last 10 minutes. You kind of called it since they got that equalizer. They really rode the momentum of that goal, and here come the Mounties on the counter, 1-on-3.
Terracabras with open field. And then Flynn takes it right back.
Oh,
Brendan
takedown.
Schoenwetter is chopped down. As
Terracabras.
Terracabras gets very aggressive. Play continues. Ball wanting redemption. Dazzles, strikes, and over the crossbar. He is just smelling around that goal, can't quite sniff one out.
Yeah, he's feeling it over here on this left attacking flank. That time he went left foot. He tried to control that cross with his outside right foot a few minutes ago, was not able to really do it well. That time he used the left foot to try to go for the upper 90, right where he just hit the post a few minutes before that. So the leading scorer with the Titans with 5 on the season, trying to land that 6th, put CMU ahead by 1 as we're tied right now. They're now out shooting Mt Aloysius is Carnegie Mellon 12-5, Jack, and 7-3 on target in shots on goal.
Well, there's no doubt that this offense for Carnegie Mellon has come to life within the last 10 minutes. You got to give a lot of credit to the defense for Carnegie Mellon also, as they had some chances where it looked that Mt Aloysius was going to benefit and maybe score, but again, the Tartans just standing very strong. Brendan Schoenwetter taps it around, Imler in on the action. Then Flynn skates it away. Races towards the touchline, and it's in play, but quickly out of play. And it's the Mounties ball. Again, Carnegie Mellon frustrated as it looked that Fernandez was going to take the free kick, but now turns into a throw-in.
Throw for Brewer. Nope. Not a throw.
And that is probably the 3rd or 4th time where we've seen, again, confusion, and it forces the referee to have to stop the clock because, again, every time that happens, there's more time that winds down.
Oh.
And a yellow card
Coach
given.
Bowman just got a yellow card for being well out of the technical area.
So both coaches with 1 yellow card this evening. And for Kevin Zilmansky, it's the 2nd time that you've seen Coach Bowman this year get a yellow card.
He hasn't stopped. I'm not certain the reason, but here we go.
Shot from Terracabras. And a good job by Brennan Schoenwetter to get his noggin on it. Otero, the burst of speed, tries going around Craw. Dazzles. And good defense by Craw.
Hey, you're on a yellow. I don't care if you stay here. That's not the fucking rule.
Carnegie Mellon coaching staff.
They're playing with 10 right now. They're trying to get their player back on the field.
Ball. The header, and it goes wide.
Now he's being waved on the field.
My, oh my, Fernandez almost lunging that goal in. But comes up off the mark, and as we approach 16 minutes to play in the second half, intensity starting to pick up here at Carnegie Mellon. All tied at 1, both teams trying to avoid a tie. It would be the third tie for Mt Aloysius, but the first for Carnegie Mellon. Now both teams looking for answers as we're in the late stages of this Wednesday match.
That was a good chance for Fernandez with that header. Just couldn't get it on target.
Terracabras boxing out Hauk. And he throws it away. Tried connecting with Polson, but could not do so. And now Carnegie Mellon looking to make the Mounties pay for their mistake. Brennan Schoenwetter twirls away. Sling him in, and it's shut down by Craw. Then Otero says, not so fast. Bertal strikes, and Donner. Again, just getting a leg on it. Continuing to be an impactful player as Jake Slackman checks in for Carnegie Mellon.
Hey, Slack, pull one wide.
Slackman playing in his 7th game this season. Here's Flynn with the throw-in. Fernandez. And Flynn sends it out of play. Mt Aloysius looking for that second goal, trying to go ahead and snap this 3-match winning streak for Carnegie Mellon. Not to mention the Mounties would pick up quite the out-of-conference win. It's Carnegie Mellon, a team that one of the tops in the program, one of the tops in the country, as that shot by Otero is scooped up by Priestley.
Nice passing sequence right there by the Tartans. Otero had a really good chance.
Craw with a burst of speed, chased by Flynn.
What incredible speed at this late stage of the game.
Finding that third gear deep in this one. It sets up a throw-in for Mt Aloysius. And again, it's Brewer that takes it. He has been their throw-in man.
Number right now? 17. Flynn, right? It's Flynn. 16? Oh, 16.
Into the box. Donner again gets ahead on it. Kept alive, and the whistle goes against the Mounties. So the Tartans can breathe a sigh of relief as we continue to tick down, approaching the 13-minute mark. Hauk back to sling him in as Callahan starting to apply pressure. Horweiler somehow avoids trouble and finds Campine. Otero and Donner both racing for it, and Otero can't keep it in play. Hawthorne checks in for Carnegie Mellon, and for Mt Aloysius, Chase Conway as well as Ryan Peddle both re-enter. So both coaching staffs looking to insert or reinsert their starters, trying to get some of those first team members back out there, as again we're in, or at least approaching this crunch time area of the ball game. 12-17 and counting to go in the second half, all tied at 1. As both teams looking for something to give way on the other side's defense. Peddle with the throw-in. Craw can't keep it in play. Ricochets around, and Iruho able to cause the turnover. Brendan Schoenwetter keeps it in play. Iruho also trying to direct it. Burst of speed by Slackman. Blanketed by defenders, sticks with it. And he still has it. Finds Fernandez. Brendan Schoenwetter.
Yeah, that wasn't a good chip right there. There's Ball with a chance on the left side.
Ball. Otero and Donner again. Right place, right time.
Fernandez and Otero were in the same area when Ball put that in the box. Here's the throw.
Ball trying to whiz past the defense, but runs out of real estate. And again, another goal kick for Priestley as Juan Camacho re-enters into the match. .10:30 to go in the second half. It was Mt Aloysius that got on the board first, and then Diederik Slingeman knotted things up in this second half with a goal of his own, his first of the year. Here he is with it. Hawthorne. Mounties trying to tighten the clamps defensively. Horweiler. Brendan Schoenwetter. Otero not giving up on it. Popped straight up. Peddle. And Brendan Schoenwetter, the aggressor, pushes down Peddle. 9:30 to go in the second half. Both teams running out of time to try and get that go-ahead goal.
It's going to be Priestley again. A lot of space on the right side here. I don't know if he can go all the way across. He's going to go up the far side.
Quite the kick downfield, but Slingeman says, I'll trade you one kick for another. Fernandez.
Nice.
Right down the middle. Ball. Loves operating from this side of the field. Brendan Schoenwetter strikes, and it's blocked. Trainer got his body on it, but a throw in for the Tartans.
Looked promising there for a moment. Fernandez had it down the middle, laid it off the ball. Tried to get it back in the middle there, but it was closed out nicely by the Mounties defense.
Hauk to throw in. And Craw moves it. And it's last touch off of Eli Campine. So now the Mounties with 8:14 and counting to go with the throw-in. Have quite a bit of field to go down and try and get the go-ahead goal. We also have the thickets of the Carnegie Mellon defense to get through. Here's a rush. Terracabras. And a great slide tackle there. Coming from Dominic Horweiler. Disrupt that rush, but now it sets up a corner. A late, very late stage opportunity for the Mounties to try and get the go-ahead goal.
It's going to be Terracabras over there taking the corner.
So the referee giving or laying down the law.
CMU needs a get back guy.
Terracabras, and that's sent away. Good job by Baugh to erase it.
That goes out in the street.
Thankfully not near my car. Brewer again on the throw-in. 7:11 to go. Again, another stoppage. And a yellow card. Issued to Brendan Schoenwetter, it seems. As him and Donner both got a little chippy. And from where we are positioned, again, can't quite tell exactly if it's Brendan Schoenwetter or if it's Alejandro Fernandez that is given the yellow, but I believe it's Schoenwetter. Nonetheless, Brewer again looking for his friend in Donner, and Donner goes down. As Camacho got a head on it, but Donner got knocked in the head. So the intensity has just got cranked up about 10 notches here at Carnegie Mellon.
They lost about 30 seconds on that.
Well, and again, I mentioned that earlier, going through some of these kind of
20 seconds.
when you have to go through some of these stoppage and plays and have to have some of these kind of explanations given, that's, again, taking away time that one of these teams could very well have a chance at getting that go-ahead goal.
Another card to the staff is assistant coach Stephen Rarick just got a card.
Can we sub him? Head injury? Can we sub him then?
So
That didn't make
Martin
sense.
Montoya checks in for Donner.
He said you could sub in, but it has to be the same player. But if he has a head injury, why would the same player? I didn't quite.
I'm glad that you also heard that. I was going to just let it go, but I was a tad bit confused there myself.
So we're not doing a very good job of clearing up for the viewing and listening audience, but that just logically doesn't make sense.
It was another good run by Otero, almost getting there. Well, I will say there have been some random stops, some random whistles that even the coaching staffs of both teams have been a little confused about, so I don't necessarily feel too awful. And another potential run as Terracabras looks at the aftermath, and ball goes back down for Carnegie Mellon. But yeah, I mean, if you have the coaching staff's also a tad bit confused as to what exactly is going on.
Makes us feel better.
So Donner re-enters.
Now I understand. So when Donner re-enters, the player that subbed him has to come out. So maybe that means the same player.
.5:48 to go. Time on really neither one of these teams' side at the moment. Houck with another throw-in. It's one of these teams trying to break open the 1-all tie. And really, Kevin, I think maybe if you're Mt Aloysius, maybe you try to play keep away, and maybe you just take a tie, or I mean, at this point, I think maybe you start to wonder, is one of these teams going to play? Obviously, you don't want to play for the tie specifically, but maybe at some point you start thinking that. Just trying to avoid the loss ultimately.
Get a hold of it, White!
Yeah, it's interesting how each side's going to view it, right? You know, it's non-conference game, so in terms of the standings, it's no impact. Maybe it depends on the possession, right? Who has the better possession? When you're defending, you're going to be content to try to keep them away, and the clock is going to go, and you're going to get the tie. But if you're going to have the better possession for the final 5 minutes, you're going to hope to put one in here. So, but really, kind of been back and forth, right? There hasn't been one team that's dominated the possession either way. It's just the match has had its moments on both sides.
It's a match that has had a little bit of everything. We've had some yellow cards, we've had some goals, we've had some good defense. We've had a tad bit of confusion, but we're still here.
Other way!
There's still a ball game to be decided as we're at the 4:09 mark and counting.
Play and run!
Ball. Circles back. Sling him in with his head up.
Oh, he tried the one touch kind of back
Brendan,
flick.
the simple stuff, man. The simple stuff.
And Brendan Schoenwetter getting some instruction from his head coach to try and simplify things. Otero getting aggressive with Prats. Again, a good job by the Mounties defense to clear it. Horweiler drops it for Campine and gets it right back. 3:30 to go in the second half. One of these teams looking to be the deciding goal scorer. Carnegie Mellon looking to get their 4th consecutive win. Mt Aloysius trying to snap that 3-game winning streak that they're on right now.
See, I think right now the Tartans are thinking we can win this one. They've had the better of the possession in the last 30, 40 seconds.
Shane Hauk with a big rip and right into the chest of Priestley. Luke Priestley has been very strong in goal, and over for Carnegie Mellon also Liam Ryan doing a great job. As Otero applying some pressure to speed things up. Horweiler. Ball, Brendan Schoenwetter with some toe touches. Fancy footwork by Ball.
It goes over the touchline.
Can't keep it in play. Kopic checks back in for Mt Aloysius. 2:28 to go in the second half. Seconds continuing to get shaved off the clock. And Ryan sends it away.
Henry,
2 minutes. Carnegie Mellon avoiding or trying to avoid getting their first tie of the year as Hawthorne is down.
Didn't see what happened there.
He's grabbing the back of his leg right now, so I wonder if maybe he got hit, maybe a Charlie horse.
Cramp in the left leg. They're going to stretch it out. Very quickly, scoring recap. First half goal for the Mounties, Daniel Iroho, officially at 1902. And then in the second half, the equalizer for CMU, Diedrich Schlingerman assisted Josh Baugh, that one at 62-29, as they help him up off the field.
Looks to be staying in play, so might have just caught a cramp. Obviously, a player like Hawthorne who is getting quite a bit of minutes, I think.
He can't stay on the pitch.
And he can't. That's a good
Trainer
call.
comes out, he has to go off. Not to mention, it doesn't look like he can run as he one-legged hops off the pitch.
Regardless, hope that Hawthorne is all right as play picks back up inside of 2 minutes to go. Campine sneaks it away. Hauk tries zipping it downfield, and it rolls out of play. A throw in for Carnegie Mellon. Brendan Schoenwetter with a big ball downfield. Flynn can't get there.
Long run by Flynn right there. He had to hop the wall. Not a lot of room from that end line to the wall there, but it was a good idea to switch just a little high. Again, you got the higher you put it, the higher the bounce you're going to get on this turf. So we get to a minute remaining.
Final 60 seconds of play. All tied at 1. One of these teams trying to change that. Rujo looking for Camacho. Otero up to Baugh, being chased. Baugh
Ooh, heavy
strikes. Oh, and it goes over the goal. Another good look by the leading scorer for Carnegie Mellon. And Josh Baugh again just inches away from putting the Tartans on top 2-1.
It was that second touch in the box. It was a little heavy that pushed him too close to the goal. Had to come at a really, really acute angle there. Went over the net.
Now Priestley just taking his time. Final 11 seconds and counting.
Takes a look at the clock. So there's your answer. They're content.
As time winds down and zeros across the board, and a final tied at 1 as both teams walk away with the draw. For Carnegie Mellon, their first tie of the year as they move to 5-1-1 overall. Mt Aloysius, no stranger to the tie as they pick up their third of the season, move to 3-1-3 overall. But really, Kevin, I think we can both agree a lot of positives for both of these teams to take away from this one. For Carnegie Mellon, showed great late life in that second half, never giving in. And over for Mt Aloysius, they really go toe-to-toe with a team that, quite frankly, plays quite the national schedule.
Yeah, much better offensively for the Tartans in the second half. They seemed to control the ball a little bit more. Got some good attacking on the switches. Baugh really came alive down the left flank. He was able to cut in on that right foot a couple times. We're still not entirely sure who got that goal, but the equalizer is right now given to Schlingerman. Both sides got really good goalkeeping in the first half. Really stellar, stood out. Second half they were fine, but there wasn't a lot of threatening saves. CMU hit the post twice, same post in the same area, and we saw a pretty good performance from a freshman center back for the Mounties in Martin Donner. He was really good, the freshman from Sweden. So, and then some curious officiating where we're trying to figure out what the calls were. So there's a little bit of everything in this match.
Definitely a wide variety of everything in this match, but nonetheless, both teams walk away scoring 1 goal each, but no winner or loser being decided. Final here at Carnegie Mellon University, CMU 1, Mt Aloysius 1, as again, Carnegie Mellon moves to 5-1-1 overall, and for the Mounties, they move to 3-1-3 overall. Thanks so much for joining us on our coverage here on the Carnegie Mellon Athletics website and the PAC Sports Network. We always appreciate you joining from wherever it might be, and for everyone that could make this broadcast possible, a big shout out to them, especially Andrea James, always making sure that we get the correct rosters and pronunciations, and ultimately making sure that we also try to share the correct information with everybody at home. But for my broadcasting partner, Kevin Zolmansky, this is Jack Ridenauer, signing off, never saying a goodbye, just to see you later, right here and only on the CMU Athletics website and on the PAC Sports Network.